professor. He is an associate professor of political science at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. He is also president of the Farsight Institute of Scientific Remote Viewing in Atlanta. At Emory, he specializes in nonlinear mathematical modeling of social phenomena, environmental politics, and elections. He's held the Charles Grove Haynes Professorship at UCLA and was a Hewlett Fellow at the Carter Presidential Center at Emory. Dr. Brown recently published the book Cosmic Voyage, a scientific discovery of extraterrestrials visiting Earth, in which he presents research that was conducted using the U.S. military-derived remote viewing espionage protocols to study the ET phenomenon. He is aware of this object. He targeted earlier last night, hours ago now, this object, and he knows a great deal about it. I'm trying to catch up our Canadian friends. This is not a War of the Worlds broadcast, even though it may sound like it. I'm going to read you in a moment a few faxes we're getting from listeners, and we will be opening lines, so please bear with us. We're trying to get out all the important, relevant information as we can. A lot of you, many of you, are already asking about how to get copies of this program. It will be a 5-hour program. You can get it beginning now by calling 1-800-917-4278. You're going to want to request the program In Progress with Dr. Courtney Brown at 1-800-917-4278, beginning right now. You don't have to put up with it. I know a lot of you do, but you don't have to. What am I talking about? Hard water problems. Hard water spots on glassware, windows, the car, soap film on shower doors, hard-scale buildup inside your water heater, costing you an extra $300 a year just to heat your water. I don't have those problems anymore since I installed my GMX water conditioning system, that is, 2.5 years ago. 3 small units, easy to install, requiring no maintenance, no electricity, and no salt. Using magnetic technology, GMX conditions your water, eliminating hard water buildup, yet allowing your water to maintain its healthy minerals. How can you go wrong? You can treat your entire home with GMX technology, including your spa pool, and the GMX units come with an unconditional 90-day money-back guarantee and a lifetime warranty. To order or to get free information, call 1-800-4060-GMX. That's 1-800-4060-GMX, and ask about the terrific business opportunity with GMX. That's 1-800-4060-GMX. All right, now, just to give you a sample, dear Art, this is Mark in Las Vegas. I'm not afraid of the coming events. I'm very happy they're coming. I've been waiting all my life for this to happen. I've been trying to tell people to wake up. Now it is going to happen. Or this, from Mike. Looked at the photographs. Wow. You know, I don't scare easily, but this show is freaking me out. It's not that I personally don't feel ready, but we collectively are not, and that's what scares me again. Or this from Chris in Los Altos, California. Dear Art, shows like this will put no-dos out of business. One note, however, you continue to question whether the alien vehicle is friend or foe, whether Dr. Brown's sources may be misguided, and the vehicle may indeed be a weapon. Point. What does it matter? What defense would we possibly have against something 4 times larger than our planet? Or this, Aloha Art from Dean in Kauai. Dr. Brown, raising the consciousness of the general population is a weapon which threatens those who would withhold information as a means to control. Or this, Nick in San Diego. Dear Art, I saw the picture of the object next to Hale Bopp, and it appears to be immense. The descriptions of the object given by the Farsight remote viewers remind me of the probe that approached Earth in Star Trek IV, waiting for a correct response from the inhabitants of Earth, or maybe the movie 2001 and the Monolith. Or this, from Mark, Art, it sounds like you and Courtney are doing a play-by-play of our mass introduction to an explained consciousness. This is more exciting than baseball. Or this, Art, please recall that Zachariah Sitchin said he thought Hale Bopp was a precursor. The new object is probably Nibiru, the 12th planet, enclosed in an artificial sheath partly made of the gold that they came to Earth to mine. Doctor, that's just a sampling of what's coming in like crazy here. What do you think?
Well, it's just a very small sampling of what the whole planet's going to be thinking about in a short amount of time.
May I run this by you, Art? You just misunderstood what Mr. Brown said. He was equating Earth's viewer, or viewers, with the 6-year-old, not the beings aboard the craft or planetoid. Opposite interpretation. Neither of you realize you misunderstood each other. Now again, from your report, you mentioned something about I thought the beings on board were equated to a 6-year-old with technology they did not understand. Did I have that wrong?
No, I think, if I recall, but I'd have to look it up in that session, but I think I was talking about the people here on Earth being the ones who were like the young ones.
All right.
And not understanding the technology, because the technology was both physical and subspace. It dealt with the realm of... The technology of this object deals with the realm of consciousness as well as it deals with the realm of transportation. You have to understand, an object that's 4 times the size of the planet Earth isn't like a sports car that you can just zip in with normal physical energy. You're not talking about a couple rockets pushing it there. The thing was there one day, it wasn't there the next. The point is that you're talking about levels of energy that are not limited to the physical realm with relativistic speeds and all the normal stuff. You have to talk about multidimensional energy, which is talking about the subspace as well as the physical.
But this is both, you say. It is indeed a real,
it's a very complex object. It has both organic and inorganic components in it. It's made of substances that are not very well known to us, and it is so sufficiently advanced and complex that it is actually sentient. It's alive. It's sentient with respect to its origination point, meaning wherever it came from, the people or whatever it is that were involved with it originally, it's alive and somehow sentient, knowing, at least with respect to them. To us, it may be just a physical object as we're looking at it, but that's our misperception. That's what the first viewer was saying, that the government, when it's looking at this object, is misunderstanding it.
I can understand. I understand how they would do that. If you're viewing this object only in the physical, and you see something coming this way 4 times the size of our planet, you're damn right it's going to scare you, and you're going to view it ominously.
That is why it's so important for us at the Far Sight Institute, and I do not believe that it's by accident, Art, that you were chosen to be on the show when the stuff is understood the first time through. That is why we are here as an educational role. Not only myself, not only the other remote viewers at the Far Sight Institute, but you, Art. We're here as an educational role to teach people, slowly but surely, that we're not being invaded, what the nature of our next evolutionary step is all about. We need to teach not just the masses, but the government that's listening to this broadcast. You can be sure that the government officials from all the major agencies are listening to this broadcast. It's been announced on my on the Far Sight Institute's website, as well as it's been announced on yours. Many people from all different agencies and so forth go through our website page by page to look at what's going on. The government is very aware of what's going on, but they have not understood it. And what's the nature of our purpose is to explain. We're supposed to be teachers. I'm a professor. The people here that work with me, many of them have PhDs. The point is, we're educators. By trade, we're educators. And you, as a radio broadcaster, is an educator. And what we need to do is really to explain to people in simple understanding the nature of life that's in the rest of the galaxy, and why we have to now understand that bootstrapping our understanding of consciousness is more important than any level of technology at the current time. By the way, I'm sitting in front of the second session.
All right, we'll get to that in a second. Doctor, I was in the Air Force, and I know enough about the military to know how the Pentagon, how the intelligence agencies are going to look at this. And I know how you want them to look at it. and I know the educational process you want to foist upon them before it is too late. I fear, though, that they will look at things, the military looks at things from a national security point of view. They look at threat analysis, they look at capability, they look at a lot of things that are very much in the physical. Now that this incredible thing is in the physical, if it proves out, and you say you've talked to a major university and they agree it is there, they're going to look at this very much in the immediate, in the physical, and in the threat mode.
Well, it's so mind-boggling to normal people that just look at it from a 3D perspective that they're going to have to start questioning. But the main ingredient that this is supposed to do is to stop the level of secrecy. I mean, you just can't walk away with it. You just can't walk away from an object that's 4 times the size of the planet Earth.
No, you can't.
What's the main ingredient that's supposed to happen right now is the end of the secrecy. That is the major problem. Now, if there is a problem with all of these people that you're talking about that are listening to the show, imagine what's going to happen tomorrow and the next day when other media start broadcasting this.
I know.
The point is, it's a problem we brought upon ourselves by allowing our government to dive into the realm of secrecy for the purpose of controlling the masses rather than educating the masses. The best way to control anyone is to teach them.
Doctor, is it possible, now you brought up an interesting point, the rest of the media, because of this broadcast, because of the photographs, there's going to be a lot of sudden attention. Is it possible the other media will either dismiss, not report on, lie through omission in effect, or that the other media will simply not pick up on it? Could that happen?
Well, they can try to do all sorts of things, but it should be obvious at this point that the ETs are forcing our hand. They want us to wake up. They're not invading. If they were invading, they could have conquered us decades ago. We're nothing. We don't even have anything that could... How could we possibly shoot down a ship 4 times the size of the planet Earth?
That's what a faxer said. Exactly right.
Of course, they're not invading or in any sense. They're trying to wake us up, and they've been doing it very gently. Now, look, if you were even wondering about their intent, just think about it like this. They were even polite enough to wait until immediately after, but after the political process of the American presidential election was completed, the largest democracy and most important democracy government on the planet Earth at this time, they waited until after we resolved our own internal stuff before they did this thing. I mean, they're bending over backwards to try to be nice.
It's a point. They did wait. It's right after the election.
They could, if they came before it, the message would have been, these silly humans having their political process, it doesn't matter, let's do it anyway. But they waited. That means they have respect for us. That means that they want something from us. They don't want to consume.
No, they have more respect. They have more respect for our political process than I do.
That could be.
Doctor, you've got a second remote viewer. Now, everybody needs to understand these remote viewers are given these targets independently. So what you're going to hear now from the second report was compiled hours ago, independent of the first. So what is in the second report, Doctor?
Yeah, now these remote viewers never talk to each other. They never have any idea. They're in different locations of the country.
I've got you.
They communicate with their monitors, in fact, over speakerphones, so that the monitor is listening to the session, but the remote viewer can't even look at the eyes of the monitor, so nothing is given away. And we are absolutely rigid with all of our controls. No hints at all. They're using just the mechanical procedures of scientific remote viewing to get this information.
All right.
Well, this viewer, I'm skipping over a lot. In fact, I'm jumping over past page 12. This viewer started to perceive that it was some type of a climate-controlled space capsule. The idea of machinery was involved. He picked up a lot of other things, but I'm going to...
So he got that too, machinery involved.
Oh, yeah, I'm skipping over a lot of the overlapping stuff because it was tremendously overlapping. But,
Doctor, don't, because that is, to me, what will verify what we heard just a couple hours ago.
Okay, well, let's start it then. This guy is immediately saying that that this is extraordinarily important. There's tremendous longevity involved in this thing. And it's something like the obelisk from 2001, A Space Odyssey. Okay, next page.
I guess what we can imagine can be, huh?
Yeah, this is tremendous corroboration. This person wasn't. I could have sent them to the Eiffel Tower. They